Hello everyone, welcome to my channel Indian School of Physics. This is Nitin here, and today I have come up with a very interesting problem of Krutov. So here is the statement of this problem. A thermally insulated vessel is divided into two parts. A heat insulating piston which can move in the vessel without friction. The left part of the vessel contains 1 mole of an ideal gas monatomic, and the right part is empty, that is vacuum. The piston is connected to the right wall of the vessel through a spring whose length in free state is equal to the length of the vessel. Determine the heat capacity C of the system, neglecting the heat capacities of vessel, piston and spring. So here you can see this spring is connected and its natural length is when this piston is here. So that means this length is equal to the compression present in the spring here. Another very important point is given. They are asking us to determine the heat capacity of the system, neglecting the heat capacities of vessel, piston and spring. That means this vessel is not going to take any heat or energy. Piston also will not absorb any energy, and spring also will not absorb any energy. Here in this problem, the very first mistake students make, or they are confused, is that sir, it is insulating container completely. Piston is also insulating. So what they feel is that this must be some adiabatic kind of system, and in that case C process should be 0, but that is not the case here. It's a very nice problem, conceptually very good, and somehow I have seen students struggling with that. So what we have to do is, whenever we are finding heat capacity or molar specific heat of any system, we will provide a small amount of heat to it, and then we will be observing the behavior of this system. Alright, so we will supply heat from our side by some external mean, either in the form of resistance, or maybe in just connecting a capacitor, and you can say connecting the two wires of the capacitor. By some mechanism, basically, that heat is given. Let's discuss the concept part of it. So here molar specific heat of a process is defined as, so dq is equal to n C process dt. So C process is different from Cp, which is Cv plus R. It is different from that. This is molar specific heat when process is isobaric, and Cv is molar specific heat when volume is constant or isochoric. So in general, for any process we can write this dq is equal to n C process dt. So from here C process is dq by n dt. By the way, this molar specific heat is independent of number of moles, so whether you take 1 mole or n moles, answer remains same. Then we will be using first law of thermodynamics, dq is equal to du plus dw. Also will be using ideal gas equation and equation of the process. These are the four relations normally we use in order to solve any question of heat and thermodynamics. One is first law of thermodynamics, ideal gas equation, and the next one is process equation and their conversions. Alright, so what we are going to do is, I am giving a small amount of heat, due to which this piston goes in some equilibrium position. Here it is going this side, and let's say at any given instant this length is x. So spring force which is acting on the piston is going to be kx, and the gas pressure is p gas, so p gas into a. So these forces are going to be balanced, because we are talking about quasi-static process. Each step is taken in very small steps, so we can say all the time this piston is going to be in equilibrium. So if it is in equilibrium, then I can write p gas into a is equal to kx. There could be another variation, that there is some other gas here, so you can write p1 minus p2 is equal to kx in that situation. However, now I'm going to use ideal gas equation. So PV is equal to nRT. So P gas into volume of gas is AX is equal to nRT. Then I can adjust these two equations. P gas into A you can substitute as Kx. I'll be getting Kx square is equal to nRT. So volume is AX. I'll be writing dV as AdX. Why I'm writing dV? Because in order to find work done by the gas, I need PdV. Okay, and in order to find CV internal energy change, NCV dt. So I'll require dt. That's the reason I have differentiated these equations. Now we are going to use first law of thermodynamics, which is du plus dw, which is NCVT plus PdV. For monatomic gas, CV is F by 2R, so it is 3 by 2R. So dq will become 3 by 2 r dt, n into 3 by 2 r dt. This is going to be kx by a into a dx. You can see this a and a gets cancelled. Now we have this kx dx. Now we have this kx dx. That's the reason I have calculated it here, because I will require it in order to have dt. So this kx dx value, if I substitute here, so I am going to get du plus n r by 2 dt. You can see from here, this 2 will come this side, so n r dt by 2. When I combine these two, dq comes as n times 3r by 2 plus r by 2 into dt, which is going to be 2r. So from here you can see the C process is dq by n dt, and that value comes as 2r. So its molar specific heat of this particular process is going to be 2r, and here, since it is coming constant, it must be a polytropic process. I have given a note here, since molar specific heat of the process is constant and does not depend on the state variables like pressure, volume, temperature, the process must be a polytropic process. So I hope you have enjoyed this problem. It's a very nice problem, very important, one of my favorite problem, because I have seen students struggling with this, even though they know it's from Croteau, they know the source of the problem, Croteau has the solution of it, but still students struggle. So I hope I have given you a good insight about this problem. So if you have enjoyed this video, please leave a like, share it with others, and if you haven't subscribed my channel, please subscribe it. I'll be coming up very soon with another video. Thanks for watching it.